Welcome back, everybody, to the show. In today's episode, we are going to talk about Candace Owens absolutely taking the internet by storm after saying some cuckoo things, and then Charlie Kirk's own pastor name-calling and calling people names that aren't even true. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's episode. I'm Michael Walquist, and you are watching The Common Sense Report. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to discuss in today's episode is Candace Owens taking the internet by absolute storm after making some outrageous claims blaming the assassination on Charlie Kirk on not only Israel, but President Trump, okay? She posted a whole video on the internet that if you're on politics and you're a conservative, you've probably seen, where she said that she's taking a 2-week break from politics just to process everything that's happened to Charlie Kirk. I honestly don't understand why she didn't take that 2-week break right after the assassination on Charlie Kirk. It's a little bit odd to me that she's just now taking that break. But on her supposed 2-week break from politics, she made a video making some outrageous claims that, once again, have taken the internet by storm, blaming the assassination on Charlie Kirk on Israel and President Trump. So that is what we are going to discuss first, but I am now just starting to understand why people think Candace Owens has gone off the rails. I supported what she was doing, or I do support what she is doing with the investigating on the assassination on Charlie Kirk. I personally think that she's doing a much better job than the actual FBI is doing. The FBI is lying to us, and that's clear as day. That's not even up for discussion. So I love what she's doing when it comes to the investigation part, but I do not like what she has said, basically calling Israelis who are happy with what Israel was doing in Gaza vermin, which is antisemitic, and it makes her look like a crazy person. So I'm just now starting to understand why people think she has gone off the rails, but let's discuss what she said in front of millions of people. Okay, so without further ado, take a listen to Candace Owens' outrageous video she made online in front of millions of people, blaming the assassination on Charlie Kirk on not only Israel, which is a crazy claim, but on President Trump. Take a listen.
To just take a breather and really process everything that happened with Charlie and what it kind of means in terms of where we are. And I think it is a circumstance where we just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? Like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock it off. They're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like, that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off after they murder you. They're like holiday and a boulevard. And it's never on a nice side of town either. Like Charlie Kirk Boulevard is not going to be a nice side of town. Anyways, I will be back on the 27th, you guys. Thank you guys for all the support throughout these couple of weeks, these last really kind of 6 weeks since Charlie died. And we will see you guys then.
Sometimes I just don't understand some crazy things that Candace Owens says. She makes all these very big claims that are obnoxiously big and will literally take the internet by storm and get you lots of hate. She made a claim that President Trump helped Israel assassinate Charlie Kirk, but she didn't give us any supporting information on why she believes that. So she's making these obnoxiously big claims that could land her in trouble, with like the FBI and other investigative departments. She's making these obnoxious claims but not backing up her information. So she's making herself sound bad that she's making such big claims about people but not giving us supporting information or evidence to prove as to what she is saying is true. So I think that what she said is completely false. There's no evidence to how President Trump was involved with Israel and then assassinating Charlie Kirk. There's no evidence to that. Like, the only evidence she gave to us on why she thinks Israel could have been involved with the assassination on Charlie Kirk is because a plane, a private jet, flew over Charlie Kirk right as he got assassinated, and their tracking devices just so happened to be turned off as they were flying over. I think that that's very odd. I don't think that that's normal. I think that that plane definitely had something to do with the assassination on Charlie Kirk, but I do not at all think that that plane is 100% evidence that Israel did this. 100% Israel. I don't think that a single plane flying over with their tracking devices turned off right as Charlie Kirk got assassinated is enough evidence to say that Israel assassinated Charlie Kirk. So, no hate to Candace at all. I love watching her videos. I think that what she does is amazing. I love the investigating side of Candace. I think that what she's been doing related to the Charlie Kirk assassination is amazing. Once again, she's doing a much better job than the FBI has been doing. So, thank you, Candace, for that. I just disagree with that part because I think that that was a little bit obnoxious to say, especially when you can't back up that information. But anyways, let's move on to the next and the last topic, unfortunately, for today's episode of Charlie Kirk's own pastor. Name-calling and calling people that question whether or not Israel was involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk anti-Semitic, which is a absolutely obnoxious claim to make, and we will discuss as to how that is a completely wrong, a completely false narrative to follow, and how Charlie Kirk's pastor should never have said that. Okay, so now let's move on to Rob McCoy, Charlie Kirk's pastor, calling anybody who questions whether or not Israel could have been involved, which they very well could have, in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, anti-Semitics. Take a listen to Charlie Kirk's pastor saying exactly that.
Trump was shot, Kennedy was shot, RFK was shot. Where were they? There's some things, no matter how hard you try, and especially with Turning Point growing exponentially and trying to figure out the dimensions of what to do. And how are they supposed to get on a roof when the campus police have the keys to all that? Just calm down. And I'm sorry, what's the latest one for all you anti-Semites? The Israelis put a hit on him? Oh, please. Just take your hate elsewhere. There's no credence in any of that. You had a man raised in a God-fearing home that got twisted and indoctrinated. And everyone who is involved in lies with subtlety of deception without any fact, you're participating and you've got blood guilt. God operates in truth, not your stupidity. And I'm calling it what it is.
I find it, quite frankly, very frustrating that in the eyes of Rob McCoy, again, Charlie Kirk's pastor, that anybody on planet Earth that questions whether or not Israel could have had anything to do with the Charlie Kirk assassination, that we're all stupid, that we're all anti-Semitics. That is very frustrating to me, especially to hear from a pastor that anybody who questions that Israel could have done something like that, which again, they very well could have, is stupid and anti-Semitic. Like, that's crazy to me, especially coming from a pastor. Like, you don't expect a pastor to say that, but he did. Okay, the Bible commands us Christians to support Israel as a nation, and I will put that evidence, the Bible verses, on the screen right here so that you can read them and know that I'm not just making this up. The Bible calls us to support Israel as a nation, not as a government, okay? So when we question whether or not Israel could have had anything to do with the assassination of Charlie Kirk, we are not questioning Israel as a nation having anything to do with it. We are questioning whether or not Israel's government, which we are not commanded to support, had anything to do with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So again, I find it quite frankly disrespectful of Charlie's pastor to call anybody who questions Israel like that stupid and anti-Semitic. The definition of anti-Semitic or being anti-Semitic is to hate Jews or hatred against Jews. Are we hating against Jews when we question whether or not Israel had anything to do with the assassination of Charlie Kirk? Not at all. We are not hating against Jews. Not once did we say that we hated Jews. We love Jews. The Bible says love your neighbor as yourself. The Bible talks about loving everybody. We love Jews. Very much so. But us questioning Israel as a government and what the wrongdoings of Israel's government does not make us anti-Semitic. So sorry to break it to you, Rob. We are not anti-Semitic nor stupid for questioning Israel's government, okay? I want to make that very clear. So I'm not happy with Candace Owens or Rob McCoy. They both make obnoxious claims, like Candace Owens saying that Trump had something to do with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Crazy of her to say that. I find it even more crazy, though, that a pastor, a Christian pastor, is now calling anybody who questions anything that Israel's government does stupid or you're an anti-Semitic. I find that crazy and very disrespectful and offending, especially as I have criticized Israel's government. So apparently, in the eyes of lots of conservatives and pro-Israel people and Rob McCoy, I'm stupid, I'm an anti-Semitic, and that is very frustrating because that is not true at all. But it makes me very mad to hear that my own political party thinks that I'm stupid and anti-Semitic for even questioning Israel as a government. Charlie Kirk said himself, we had the ability to criticize our own country more than we had the ability to criticize a foreign country like Israel. It should not be that way at all, okay? We should be able to question a foreign government more than our own government, okay? But no, we are getting called names for even questioning anything that Israel's government does. And that is very frustrating to people like me, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, and even Tucker Carlson. So I just thought that this would be a good video to make to address these things, just so that you know that I am not at all in favor of them saying things like that. And it is, quite frankly, very frustrating to me as well. So if questioning a foreign government's wrongdoings makes me stupid or an anti-Semitic, then you bet I'm stupid. You bet I'm an anti-Semitic, because if it makes me being those things to question a foreign government, which, let me make it very clear, is not the case at all, then you bet I am. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. Of course, in our crazy world, there is so much to discuss, but as we all know, we can't fit that into one video. So make sure to stay tuned and hit that like and subscribe button so that you will be updated every time I post a new video about the crazy things happening in our country and all around the globe, as that is not going to stop anytime soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a very nice day.